Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and welcome to the National News broadcast, bringing to you live from the National News Studios here at Rupavahini. We're ready to bring you the top stories here at home and around the world. I'm Chandi.
And I'm Malsha Dharmavardhana. Starting off with your headlines.
Country receives a relief of $8 billion through the debt restructuring process. The Economic Transformation Bill provides strategies of earning to pay back loans. Gaya City goes to assume duties as the SLFP General Secretary. A heating environment creates in front of the SLFP headquarters. Dhammika Pereira gets ready to contest the presidential election. The President told the Mahanayaka Thera of the Ramanja Mahanikaya that he informed the Election Commissioner to hold the election on the scheduled date. UNP General Secretary says that the person who filed a petition regarding the President's term of office is not a UNP member. Galgamuye Chandi was killed by a Tusker attack. UK new Prime Minister says that a change started in Britain.
On to those and other stories in detail now. In United Kingdom, the new Prime Minister Keir Starmer begins to appoint the new cabinet following his party's landslide victory in the general election.
And Starmer replaced Rishi Sunak as Prime Minister, ending 14 years of Conservative rule.
Labour leader Keir Starmer officially became Britain's Prime Minister after an audience with King Charles III at Buckingham Palace this afternoon. Earlier, he pledged to start a period of national renewal in the United Kingdom after his opposition Labour Party defeated the ruling Conservatives in the general election.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I have just returned from Buckingham Palace, where I accepted an invitation from His Majesty the King to form the next government of this great nation. I want to thank the outgoing Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. His achievement as the first British Asian Prime Minister of our country. And so my government will fight every day until you believe again. From now on, you have a government unburdened by doctrine, guided only by the determination to serve your interest, to defy, quietly, those who have written our country off. You have given us a clear mandate, and we will use it to deliver change, to restore service and respect to politics, end the era of noisy performance, tread more lightly on your lives, and unite our country. 4 nations standing together again, facing down, as we have so often in our past, the challenges of an insecure world, committed to a calm and patient rebuilding. So, with respect and humility, I invite you all to join this government of service in the mission of national renewal. Our work is urgent, and we begin it today.
Prime Minister Rishi Sunak conceded defeat in the national election on the 5th of July, saying the opposition Labour Party had won.
I will shortly be seeing His Majesty the King to offer my resignation as Prime Minister. To the country, I would like to say first and foremost, I am sorry. I have given this job my all, but you have sent a clear signal that the government of the United Kingdom must change, and yours is the only judgment that matters. I have heard your anger, your disappointment, and I take responsibility for this loss. To all the Conservative candidates and campaigners who worked tirelessly but without success. I am sorry that we could not deliver what your efforts deserved. It pains me to think how many good colleagues who contributed so much to their communities and our country will now no longer sit in the House of Commons. I thank them for their hard work and their service. Following this result, I will step down as party leader, not immediately, but once the formal arrangements for selecting my successor are in place. It is important that after 14 years in government, the Conservative Party rebuilds, but also that it takes up its crucial role in opposition professionally and effectively.
As thousands of electoral staff tallied millions of ballot papers at counting centres across the country, the Conservatives absorbed the shock of a historic defeat that will leave the depleted party in disarray and likely spark a contest to replace Prime Minister Rishi Sunak as the leader. Meanwhile, the new Labour cabinet is now being shaped up. Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Friday appointed David Lammy as Britain's new foreign minister and John Healey, the defence minister, while Yvette Cooper was named interior minister. Rachel Reeves became the UK's first female chancellor.
On your local news, President Ranil says that a relief amounting to $8 billion can be passed on to the general public under the deep restructuring process.
And accordingly, a relief of $5 billion from the interest will be slashed by the bilateral creditors. In addition, as the commercial creditors have agreed, a slash of $3 billion of loan will be made. The President revealed these facts joining the national program of granting outright deeds to landholders of the Kurunagal district. The President underscored these initiatives speaking at a ceremony held at the Northwestern Provincial Council Auditorium in Kurunagal, where symbolic deeds were presented to 463 recipients of 73,143 eligible in the district under the Urume National Program. President Ranil said that our country has emerged from bankruptcy. We have had a 4-year plan to repay our loans, offering reduced burdens and interest cuts that will yield $5 billion in savings. He said that we are currently in negotiations with private contractors. As a result, approximately $3 billion has been withdrawn. In total, $8 billion has been allocated for our use. He said that additionally, we have been granted $2 billion under relaxed terms. This does not account for funds except from China or assistance from India. The President said that as a result, we have saved $8 billion over the past 2 years. He said that before assuming office during President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's tenure, India provided $3.5 billion on favorable loan terms. Bangladesh also contributed $200 million. He said that despite economic challenges, we managed to repay $200 million. He said that he had made through tough decisions to rebuild our economy. Raising VAT wasn't easy, but it was necessary to stabilize our economy. The President said that some leaders urged people to protest and even burn houses, urging them not to support the government. He said that farmers were told to come to Colombo, but without fuel and fertilizers, they couldn't come. He said that we provided essential fuel and fertilizers to support them. Eventually, they were asked to come to Colombo without planting crops. Thanks to the harvest in 2022-2023, the country's production increased and tourism thrived. He said that as a result, we have achieved an $8 billion relief and paved the way to debt relief. He said that when the economy collapses, it affects the ordinary people the most. When it recovers, it benefits each and every another segment. He said that we launched the Urume Freehold Land Deeds program to benefit the ordinary people. Today, these individuals have full ownership rights to the lands they have lived on for generations. This is indeed a government's record. He said that others talk about socialism, but this is real socialism where land is given directly to the people. The President said that only 2 countries in the world, Japan and South Korea, have implemented similar programs, but they charged some fee for the land. Here we provided land for free, resulting in an additional 2 million beneficiaries under this program. Government employees were granted a stipend of 10,000 rupees. The President said that attention will also be given to increasing salaries in the coming year, along with the wage hikes in the private sector. Income from the tourism has increased, supporting a modern tourism industry that has raised people's earnings. During the last Poson Poya, numerous dances were held across the country. He said that before that, people were suffering with food shortages. He said that thanks to your hard work in agriculture, we experienced an unprecedented number of dances in Sri Lanka's history. He said that we are committed to providing relief and developing the country in every possible way.
විශේෂ දීමනාවක් ඇද්ද පඩි වැඩි කිරීම එන අවුරුද්ද අපිට බලන්න පුළුවන්. අද මිනිස්සුගේ අතේ මුදල් තියෙනවා. අනුරාධපුරේ පොසොන් වලට ආය මිනිස්සු කියනවා සර් අපි කුරුණෑගල පැත්තේ පැයක් දෙකක් දන්සල් වලට හිරුණා කියලා. එදා කන්න නැතුව හිටියේ. එදා තෙල් නැතුව හිටියේ. අද ඔපේ දාඩිය මහන්සියෙන් ගත්ත ඒ හාල් නිසා දියුණුව නිසා ලංකාවේ මීට ඉස්සෙල්ලා නොතිබුණු දන්සල් ප්‍රමාණයක් පොසොන් මාසෙට පොය දිනේට කුරුණෑගල පැවැත්තුවා. මිනිස්සු පුදුම වෙනවා. මට තානාපතිවරු කිව්වා අපි කොහොමද යන්නේ? හිතන්න බෑ මේ රටේ අවුරුදු දෙකකට ඉස්සෙල්ලා මිනිස්සු කෑම නැතුව හිටියා කියලා. මේ අපේ ශක්තිය.
ඔබට උරුමය ලබා
Governor of the North-Western Province Nasir Ahmed said that we are pleased that today the Urumaya program, inspired by President Ranil Wickremesinghe's noble vision, is being implemented in the North-Western Province. He said that the primary aim of this initiative is to grant legal ownership of lands to the people. He said that some politicians oppose your right to Urumaya. We must not tolerate their disruptive actions. It is crucial for President to retain power. Kurunegala District Coordinating Committee Chairman Parliamentarian Samanpriya Herath said that the Urumaya program, aligned with the 2024 budget proposal, represents a significant initiative spearheaded by President Ranil Wickremesinghe. He said that today the President Wickremesinghe has taken decisive actions to address these long-standing land problems.
It has been stressed that the Economic Transformation Bill has been introduced income strategies to pay back loans. This was revealed at a media briefing held in Government Information Department over the topic of debt restructuring process in Sri Lanka.
The ISB, that's only 12.5 billion held by the foreigners. There's a small part that is still in the process of negotiation that can be completed soon. Once we have agreement, I think on that basis, there is a discussion, there has been discussion going on, that will continue. This past couple of auctions, I think last auction there was a small reduction, but previous 3 auctions there was an increase in treasury bills. That's up because now the all treasury funding requirements are basically funded through the market. And when there is a large funding requirement, I think there was last 3 weeks, one of the largest bill auction and bond auctions happened. As a result, it's a function of demand and supply. When government is demanding large amount rolling over new funding, obviously then investors will ask a little bit higher. But I think this is a natural thing. We can't expect interest rates to be fixed or to retain at the same level. Depending on demand and supply, it will go up and down. But I think it has to be in line with our monetary stance. So that's why we think that has coming back. We hope that will settle on the medium to long term. The short-term variations, we are not too much concerned about it.
State Minister of Finance Shahan Samasinghe says that the opposition should first obtain a proper understanding regarding the IMF program before they express views in this connection. He made these remarks at a press briefing held in Anuradhapura area today.
People who are so critical on the entire recovery process, after all, they have published a communique 2 years before saying that it's an unenviable, gigantic challenge for anybody to save Sri Lanka. Shouldn't they appreciate? Shouldn't they support the government because we have saved the country? So it is not the time to have politics. Once again I say, the success story of President Ranil Wickremesinghe and the government was we did not get both economic recovery process and political process together. This was always separated. Revival of the economy was separated from the political ideology of the government. Let's look at in a more positive manner, because yes, there was a time that Sri Lanka was looked at negatively by everybody, But I think now it is a time to look at Sri Lanka very positively. If you take these certain milestones which have been achieved by Sri Lanka, will be testaments in the future in any kind of economic recovery. So as at now, Sri Lanka becomes one of the main countries as a testament for the economic recovery. So let us continue this momentum. So what I see is, with all negative comments by opposition political parties, they want to disrupt this momentum. So let us keep this positive momentum. We have won the confidence of the international community. We have won the confidence of the Sri Lankan citizens.
Parliamentarian Dayasiri Jayasekara today arrived at the SLP headquarters at the Dali Road today to assume duties as the General Secretary of the party. However, he couldn't enter the party headquarters as the doors were kept locked. Former chairman of the party, Maithripala Sirisena, removed Dayasiri Jayasekara from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. However, the Colombo District Court recently issued a restraining order preventing this decision. Accordingly, Dayasiri Jayasekara today came to the party headquarters to assume duties as the General Secretary. It was locked and the police teams have also been deployed there for security. Then a heating condition occurred in front of the party headquarters. However, Dayasiri Jayasekara assumed his duties as the General Secretary in front of the party headquarters premises. Parliamentarian Dayasiri Jayasekara said that he accepts Maithripala Sirisena and has no dispute with him. If Vijayadasa Rajapaksa comes out of the government, the SLFP is ready to work with him.
ඒක මං අට අදාළ නැහැ. ඉතින් එතුමා එළියට එනවා නම් අපි සූදානම් එතුමා බාර ගන්න වැඩ කරනවා. ඒක එළියට આવොත් විතරද බාර ගන්න? I think ඇවිල්ලානේ ඉන්නේ දැන් පක්ෂය ඇතුළට ඇවිල්ලා. ඉතින් අපි බලමු කතා කරලා එතුමා නඩු දාලා තියෙනවා. බලමු අපි අපේ ගේම් එක ගමු. යන්න බය වෙන්න එපා.
After a meeting today, State Minister Lasantha Alagiyawanna and recently elected General Secretary of the SLFP, Duminda Disanayake, expressed their views. Parliamentarian Duminda Disanayake said that no one has challenged our portfolios as the chairman and the general secretary of the party. He said that they were accepted by the courts and the chairman and the general secretary of the party.
වැඩ බාර ගන්නව කොහොමද? වැඩ බාර ගන්න නෙමෙයි. එතුමාට දැන් තියෙන්නේ මොකද? ඉස්සෙල්ලාම එතුමා කරන්න ඕනේ දවස් 7ක් ඇතුළත නිදහසට කරුණු කියන්න වෙනවා පක්ෂ සමාජිකත්වය එතුමාගේ අහෝසි වීම සම්බන්ධව. පැමිණිල්ල ඉදිරිපත් කර
State Minister Lasantha Alagiyawanna said that this verdict was being given considering the situation prevailed on the day of the complaint. Maithripala Sirisena is the one who took this decision. Today he is not the chairman of the party. President Ranil informed the Mahanayaka of the Ramanya Mahanikaya, Most Venerable Makuluave Vimalathera, that he had informed the election commissioner of the need to hold the presidential election on the scheduled date.
The President visited the Sri Lanka Ramanja Mahanikaya headquarters this afternoon in Alvatika Labavata, Narahempita. There, the President had a brief discussion with the Chief Prelate of the Ramanja Mahanikaya, Most Venerable Makulave Vimala Mahanayakathera. During the visit, Most Venerable Makulave Vimalathera chanted Seth Pirit, bestowed his blessings upon President Ranil Wickremesinghe and presented him with a commemorative gift.
General Secretary of the United National Party, Palitha Rangebandara, said that the allegations that the person who filed a fundamental rights petition regarding the President's term of office is a UNP National List member is totally false. He also vehemently rejected the allegation. He made these comments in response to a statement made by Sunil Handunhetti of the NPP. Sunil Handunhetti of the National People's Power said that On one hand, the president says he agrees with the Elections Commission. On the other, a former member of the own UNP national list requests a restraining order from the Supreme Court against the presidential election. This is an utter joke. This is deliberate. He just wants a try. General Secretary of the United National Party, Palitharange Bandara, said that they checked several past UNP national list of elections. He was not a member of the UNP national list. He is a national list member of National Development Front in 2020 general election. That political party belongs to Rohana Pallewatta. Pallewatta is now with Sajith Premadasa in SJB working committee. On the other hand, if Ranil wants to postpone the election, why he attempts to correct an uncertain point in the constitution? After all, he has already allocated funds for the presidential election. The UNP is not scared of election. Ranil is not a coward. Sajith is the one who hid from accepting elections.
And meanwhile, a centre of Sri Lanka SLPP Professionals was declared open today at the Rosmith Place in Colombo 7. General Secretary of the party, Attorney at Law Sagara Karyavasam, National Organizer Namal Rajapaksha and several others were present at this occasion. General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Perabuna, Attorney at Law Sagara Karyavasam, said that development is the most important factor in the country in the future. The party has to change the rules and regulations in this connection once it will form a government. Introducing and implementing the economic policies will be carried out by the professional organizations of the SLPP. Our future leader should be a person who does not sell local resources and a person capable of developing the economy. He should not cause any harm to the unitary state of the government. Parliamentarian Dhammika Perera said that although some leaders speak loudly on stages, no one tells how they develop the economy. About 44% of the voters have not yet decided to whom they will vote. He further said that he is ready to contest the presidential election, but the biggest political party in the island, the SLPP, should decide it regarding the presidential candidate.
Now, 4 persons died on the spot in a road accident occurred at Valihinda area along the Badulla Soranathota road. Police stated that another 3 persons have been critically injured. The incident occurred at around 12 noon. A group of persons have come to the area to install passenger shelters there from Monaragala. The lorry they were travelling have veered off the road, causing this accident. The injured were admitted to Badulla General Hospital. Badulla police are conducting investigations.
The wild elephant known as Galgamue Chandi was a jumbo that lived in the pride in its native area of Galgamue. It is very unfortunate that this single tusker elephant has died. It is believed that the elephant was killed by an attack wielded by another elephant. The carcass of the Chandi was discovered this morning lying in Kaduruvela tank in Ahatuweva area. There were few signs of elephant attacks in the animal body. It is believed that a fatal stroke of a tusk caused damages to elephant's breast area is the cause of the death. Some villagers say that they heard the elephant roaring with pain after a clash with another elephant. The elephant Chandi was also injured recently in such an attack and was given treatment by wildlife officers. The ailing elephant was also weak in its eyesight. The animal has used to drink joda that are hidden in the jungle by the illicit brewers. They also had caused various damages and harm to the elephant. Wildlife officials shifted this elephant to Badru jungle and elephant detent centers in Horopatana in 2 instances several years ago. Astonishing the wildlife officials, the animal returned to his native place Galgamue area within few days after its transfer. Later, due to strong protest of media and environmental organizations, the elephant was allowed to roam in his native land. Although the elephant underwent a natural death, he has been suffering from many human activities. This elephant is considered as a Jambu who had fought against attempts to deprive of its natural rights. However, it has the opportunity to have the last rest in his own native area.
Suara Hospital bus service launched today under the patronage of Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena. According to the request made by Minister Dr. Ramesh Patirana, Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena today donated 2 new buses to Sri Jayawardenapura Hospital to start the Suara Hospital bus service. The new bus service is effective from Kottawa, Makubura to Sri Jayawardenapura Hospital and to Petta. These 2 buses belong to Sri Lanka Transport Board, Maharagama and Talangama depots, run along the routes number 138, 212 and 174. Minister Dr. Ramesh Patirana said that public representatives of Kegol, Gampola and Navalapiti areas request to establish private paying boards complexes in the main state hospital in these areas. Even the doctors of Galle National Hospital asked to set up a paying ward complex there. Patients who can afford will have better treatments from these paying wards. The government hospital should provide quality service for the people. Therefore, the government should take futuristic actions to promote the health service.
ප්‍රතිකාර සඳහා පෞද්ගලික රෝහල් වලට යන්න කියන කාරණේදී අපිට පාර්ශ්වය ආමන්ත්‍රණය කරන්න පුළුවන් කාරණයක් තමයි රජයේ සේවයෙන් හොඳ සේවයක් සැපෙනවා වගේම වඩාත් පහසුකම් ජනතාවගේ ජීවන මට්ටම වැඩි වීමත් සමගම ජනතාවත් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා මම හිතන්නේ අපි අනාගතවාදීව අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම අපි මේ රටේ සෞඛ්‍ය සේවාවේ ඒ ප්‍රතිඵල තවත් පිරිසකට ලබා ගන්නට අවශ්‍ය ප්‍රතිකඩ විවෘත කරන්න අවශ්‍යයි. මට සඳහන් කළා.
Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that some people asked him whether a bus service can be arranged for hospitals. This Suara Hospital bus service first launched catering Sri Jayawardenapura Hospital. The 2 buses will run from Makubura to Sri Jayawardenapura Hospital and then to Petta with return journey.
And meanwhile, State Minister Ranjit Siambalapitiya has come forward to eliminate the fear cycles developing in the society regarding tax payments. He says that unless a person gets a notice on tax paying, no need to become panic over such rumors. State Minister Ranjit Siambalapitiya said that under the tax identification program, persons over 18 years will be registered and given a number of identification. However, there are false reports published that all persons should pay taxes. Although any person gets a notice in this connection, he or she does not need to pay taxes if their monthly income does not exceed 100,000 rupees. On the other hand, if anyone gets such a notice, even after paying taxes for his income, he should inform the closest office of the Inland Revenue Department regarding this matter. The government has registered about 2.3 million persons so far under the National Tax Registration Program. Out of the amount, 1.3 million individuals were registered during June only. The government expects to register 5 million persons by the end of July under this program. There are 7.3 million registered taxpayers at present. However, if there is anyone whose income is under the tax limits, he can change it by informing the relevant branch of the Inland Revenue Department, and no one should be panicked over this issue.
On to a few more local news in brief. The Colombo High Court today issued an order to freeze assets over 97 million rupees belonging to some family members, former Minister Kelia Rambukwalla. Fixed deposits, bank accounts and life insurance premiums are among them. The order was issued after considering some facts presented by the Bribery Commission. The decision to freeze the assets were taken under the provision vested with the Bribery Commission under the Anti-Corruption Act. This ban will be effective until the 4th of October this year. The conclusion ceremony of the official language week was held at the Sri Lanka Development Administrative Institute yesterday under the patronage of Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. It was named as the State Language Youth Day. Prizes and certificates were distributed under a number of segments for teledrama competition, including Best Teledrama Actress and Actor. A 3-story complex located in Akurana town was caught in fire this morning, completely destroyed the building and the fire erupted in a shopping of a bakery item.
And 35 new canines have been bought from the Netherlands for the police kennel division in Sri Lanka. The cost of these animals is 58 million rupees. Among the dogs there are 13 Belgian Malinois, 13 German Shepherds and 10 English Spaniels. They have been purchased from a private farm named K10 Working Dogs in the Netherlands. The animals were brought to Qatar from the Netherlands and lately they were brought to the Katunayake airport this morning by a Qatar Airways flight. Out of them, 2 females of English Spaniels are pregnant at present. Earlier in 2018, a pack of official dogs was brought for the police kennel division. The 35 animals are now being tested by the veterinary surgeons at the airport animal quarantine unit. They are scheduled to be handed over to the trainer of the police kennel division later. Police media spokesman DIG Attorney at Law Nihal Talduwa said that these animals have been selected with the intention of breeding offspring so as to save foreign exchange by preventing repeated imports.
The remains of the leader of Ilengai Tamil Arsukachi party of R. Sambandhan was airlifted to Trincomalee today from Jaffna. Politicians and the people paid their last respect to the late leader in Jaffna. Later, the remains were brought to his native place, Trincomalee. Politicians and the people of the area have come to their residence today to pay their last respect. Coming up next is international news. Voting is underway to elect a new Iranian president as a conservative goes head-to-head with the reformist. The runoff comes after no candidate secured a majority in the first round of the election on 28 June, which saw a historically low vote turnoff of 40%. One of the team, Dr. Masoud Peshkian, a former heart surgeon who is considered as the moderate, and his rival Sahid Jalila has been considered as a headliner. The election was called after Iran's previous president Ibrahim Raisi was killed in a helicopter crash in May, in which 7 others died. Dr. Peshkian has caused a stir after promising unity and cohesion and an end to Iran's isolation from the world. Electoral authorities announced extension of voting time in Iran's presidential election runoff, pitting Peshkian against Sahid Jalali. On your sports news, the T20 Cricket World Cup winning Indian team arrived in New Delhi yesterday.
And meanwhile, a special ceremony was held in Mumbai to mark the victory of the T20 Cricket World Cup. After 17 years defeating South Africa by 7 runs in the finals, the Indian team led by Rohit Sharma had to stay for about 3 days in Barbados due to the inclement weather. They reached New Delhi yesterday. The Indian And with that, we conclude tonight's news. Do it just tomorrow at the very same time. I'm Chandi signing off with Malsha. Stay safe. Good night.